Hello there, and welcome to the Superhero Hub. I'm Sam,
On that.
and today, what are we doing? We're
Well,
opening up the superhero files again. Opening up the superhero files and tell them what page we've stumbled across.
we're going to be talking about the Infinity Gems and a little about the Gauntlet itself as well.
Okay, so let me hit you with the facts. Right. See, this is kind of interesting. This is the gauntlet holds 6 Infinity Gems. Fact. For all you people who didn't know, that's one for each finger and one kind of there. So yeah, it's interesting as well because when you can have the gauntlet and you don't really need to fill it with all the stones, but it's interesting because there's such a thing as full potential. Now I was reading up on this and I was thinking to myself, right, okay then, because there's a little like discerning, because I using the stones, it's like what kind of discerns using it to its full potential. So I figured that means when you're using all of them together, because some of them, like, they're pretty strong. I mean, you could kind of grade how good they are, but like you can use them with other stones as well to bolster them. Now, a fact is, I mean, which one is it? The Power Stone pretty much bolsters any of the other stones. So you could have the Mind Stone to read the room's mind. Like you have a room of 20 people, use a Mind Stone, you're reading all their minds. But then if you use the Power Stone with it, like, so you got Infinity Gauntlet, Mind Stone there, Power Stone there. The doesn't have to be there, just in the
Oh my
gauntlet.
god.
But the Power Stone is going to bolster the strength of the Mind Stone. So not only are you going to read the mind of the 20 people in the room, you're going to read the mind of the 100 people in the nearby places. And to kind of hit full potential, I'd imagine you'd have to have all 6 of them together. And when you use the Mind Stone, you can read the mind of everyone ever.
Right,
Like,
it's like the difference of being superpowers and being practically a god if you got them all.
yeah, you got to figure it like you Charles Xavier. You're reading people in, like, you're in your house. You're reading the students' minds, and then the Power Stone equivalent would be Apocalypse comes in and bolsters your power, and then all of a sudden
Well,
you can read the mind of everyone in the country, and then the kind of alternative of like all the stones together would be him in Cerebro, but instead of picking like, oh, I'll read yours, he could literally read everyone in Cerebro's mind, which is pretty much everyone on the whole planet's mind. But in this case, with all 6 of the Infinity Stones, you could read the minds of everyone in the universe at the same time,
mhm, as
without
you
your
do.
head blowing up apparently. But the gauntlet's, oh, I don't know. See, the gauntlet's interesting. I think it kind of stabilizes it, but there's not really much information of where the actual gauntlet comes from. So I mean, I'll hit you with some comic details. The Soul Stone gem, whatever you want to call it, first appeared in Marvel Premiere issue number 1 in 1972. Now, the Power and Time gem appeared in Marvel Team Up issue 55 in March 1977. The All of them together, so it was kind of like those 3 had already popped up, and then the other 3, like all of them all together, popped up in the Avengers Annual issue number 7 in 1977. So that was later on, because March 77 for the Power and Time, and then all the other ones must have been later on in 1977. The Infinity Gauntlet first appeared in. See, this is. There's not really much information about the actual Infinity Gauntlet, and there is kind of contrasting things. Like, apparently, it first appeared uh, in the Thanos Quest series in 1990, but there's also apparently it first appeared in Silver Surfer issue 44 in 1990 as well. So it's kind of hard to kind of discern. I mean, the Thanos Quest was September, October, so I mean, the run was. So you'd think that unless the Silver Surfer number 44 was in November or December, then you got to figure that was its first appearance.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I haven't read it, but I imagine that it was all part of the same event.
Yeah,
So it's all tied in.
it's interesting that he kind of Thanos beefs up with the Silver Surfer, akin to like um, Galactus. So we'll talk about the first stone now, which is the Soul Stone, and that's the green one in the comic books. Obviously, the films are different, but we've already talked about that. Check the other video where they pop up in the MC universe. See, it's interesting as well because generally, when all of the stones are assembled, either way, like generally after whatever threat's been defeated, they're kind of passed off. So I mean, tons of people have ended up with one of the stones like at one separate time. You know what I mean? You got Black Widow. She's held one at one time. Iron Man, he's had one. High Evolutionary, Adam Warlock's had them all at one point. So it's kind of all Pip the Troll. So I mean, there's speculation that in the Infinity War film coming out soon. Like apparently Peter Dinklage is tied to that, and there's speculation he's going to play Pip the Troll. So yeah, at one point or another, I mean, Mr. Fantastic has had one. So quite a few characters, like main characters in the Marvel universe, have ended up with at least one stone. Because like they're all like, okay, we'll pass them on to protectors, and it's like you can have one, you can have one. Namor has had one.
Yeah,
So
they've been passed around. They're kind of like the rings of power, in Lord of the Rings.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
everyone takes one to keep them safe, blah blah blah. And then I guess the one ring would be like the Infinity Gauntlet, and you bring them all together, and you're all powerful.
hmm So the Soul Stone allows the user to steal, control, manipulate, and alter the souls of the living or dead souls. It can also open a gateway into a pocket universe, which would be described as heaven. So your interpretation of heaven is what the Soul Stone opens up, which is interesting, I guess.
Yeah, and Thanos has a famous obsession with death as well.
hmm So it can also steal the powers and abilities of other people. It's sentient and hungers for souls, which is kind of interesting because it's kind of like you'd kind of put that with the One Ring as well. Like you put it on and it kind of corrupts you. So I mean that would be kind of annoying to have. You know what I mean? Because you
Well,
kind of
not
have
not
it, and it'd be like, I mean, kind of like always piss. It's like, yo, I don't want to steal no souls. Leave me alone for 5 minutes.
but
I'm trying to
maybe
think.
not if you're Thanos though. A
Yeah, I
guy,
guess so. I
yeah.
mean, does it bolster the power though? I mean, if it bolstered the power, but I mean, to be honest, if you got all of them together, it wouldn't really matter. So it would
Mm.
kind of be annoying. Um, and as I said, at full potential, so like I imagine six of them together. Because I mean, what the more you use it, the more you get. I mean, I don't really believe that at all. So at full potential, it allows control over all life in the universe. So whatever that means.
It means you're God.
Yeah. See, it's interesting. Like it can steal the powers and abilities of other. That's a pretty cool thing to have, I guess. It's interesting because like there's one definitive one which is like regarded as like the most powerful of all the stones. But I mean, if you kind of look at them, it's like which one would you have? The way I see it, I mean, if you were fighting like empowered people, normal people, it'd be pretty kind of useless. But I mean, if you're fighting someone like, I don't know,
The Punisher.
someone with actual, no, someone with abilities, you know what I mean? Clown, the
Oh,
Punisher.
the Punisher.
It'd be annoying because he's got no powers. But I mean, if someone had like abilities, you could like take them away, and then they'd be like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? That's like Mr. Fantastic. I imagine you could take away his stretchy ability because that's kind of classed as cosmic. So I mean, I imagine the X-Men as you could take away Wolverine's healing factor. I think that'd class as that, wouldn't it?
I guess, even though
So it's
Batman
kind of
itself isn't cosmic, you know what I mean? That they're an evolution.
yeah, I know that's what it's kind of tricky because even if you kind of did it like say you had it in the DC universe, it's like would that take this if you're fighting the Flash? Could you like take his speed away with it? So
Yes.
what would you class as like powers and abilities? Is that like literally any like Spider-Man spider sense? Would you class that as like? I mean, you'd
Yeah.
have to, wouldn't you? So the next stone is the time stone, which is orange. Now, see, this is an interesting one. This allows control over the past, present, and future, allows you to see into the past and the future, can stop, slow down, speed up, reverse the flow of time. You can time travel, change the past and future, obviously. I mean, that's pretty like an obvious point. If you can travel in time, I
Hmm.
mean, you could fart and it'd change the past or the future. You can age or de-age people. See, now my issue with that is, well, not issue, but my interest in that is, could you like, would that render you like immortal? Could you use it on yourself to make yourself immortal? Because there's no kind of, it doesn't allude to that. It says age or de-age people. So I mean, you got to figure you could use it on yourself to de-age yourself, couldn't you?
Yeah, I imagine so. The thing is,
It'd be
my
annoying if you couldn't.
it kind of goes into my yeah. I think the Infinity Gauntlet's a cool thing, especially with Thanos. But I think the reason why you don't hear much about it over the years in Marvel is because it's so powerful that it's kind of ridiculous in the end. But you get to a point. Like think about the first one you mentioned, where you have control over everything in the universe. Well,
Yeah.
then you don't really need that one, then, do you? If you have
What do you
control over
mean?
everything and everyone in the universe, then you can stop yourself from getting old like that.
Yeah, no, I think I'd class full potential as if you have all of them together. Like
Mm.
there's like you've got a stone and you use the powers. Then if you like a single stone using its powers, then if you have the power stone, it like increases it to a degree. You know what I mean? And then if you have all of them together, then that's full potential. You got to think that's full potential. Yeah, you can trap people and universes in time loops, as you saw in Doctor Strange. Full potential grants omniscience, omniscience, which you know everything. So that's a pretty vague term as well. So I mean, you got to figure you know everything that has happened or and everything that will happen. So I mean, I'd rate that more powerful than the Soul Stone, because I mean because I think Adam Warlock, there's like a storyline where Adam Warlock has like all the stones, and then like the Watcher tells him, you know, what are you gonna do with them? So he kind of uses the gauntlet or uses the stones to see into his own future, and he sees that the smartest thing to do would to be like break up the stones and give them to each like give them to a person to look after and protect. So I mean, you'd know everything that's kind of going on.
Yeah, because Adam Warlock's always got the threat of was it Mongol? Mongol? Am I thinking of the right guy?
I don't know.
There's like evil Adam Warlock who's like a massive, like super evil guy. So there's always that danger in the background as well. The I think that gem though is probably a useful retcon tool.
Oh yeah.
Like if that, and seriously, like if ever you want to wipe something out or you've killed a character off and you want to bring them back, just bring it out.
Exactly. I mean, you could pretty much do everything with time. It'd be a kind of troll stone, really. You just it's kind of it'd be more fun. I'd class it as more fun than the soul stone because that kind of strikes me as like kind of serious. You know what I mean? But like the time stone, you could just like kind of have fun with it. You could piss about, go back forward in time, go see people, stuff like that. So at the moment, I'd kind of prefer that over the soul stone. What do you think?
Yeah, me too. I'm with you.
Yeah. Now the next stone is, see, knowing everything would get annoying as well. Like time, it'd kind of get annoying. But I mean, the kind of being sentient and hungering for souls and stuff like that. You can imagine just sitting there and it'd just be like, yo, wake up, and you'd be like, what? And it'd be like, yo, I'm hungry, I need a soul, and it'd just be like, I'm trying to sleep, go away. You know what I mean? It'd probably have like a real annoying voice and it'd just bother you and you'd be like, please leave me alone. And you'd probably end up being like a slave to it. You know what I mean? Like eyes glazed over, stuff like that. So I mean, let's get on to space. This is the purple stone. Allows user to exist in any or all locations. So that's physically. So I could be sitting here and I could be sitting over your shoulder, or I could be like down the street getting a bag of crisps from the shop. Move any object anywhere through reality. So I mean, say there was, I don't know, a bee flying around my head, and it was this is really like mundane stuff, but it's like easy to explain. Like, say you're sitting there like on your computer mind your own business, and you hear like a fly in your ear, you could just use it to, I don't know, zap it to, I don't know, Australia or something. um yeah, anywhere through reality, or you could whack it onto the moon. I don't know. Sky's the limit, literally. Warp or rearrange space. So I know. I figure. See, that's kind of the same thing. Move any object anywhere through reality. I mean, warp or rearrange space. Does that mean you could like change Earth into a cube? You
Yeah,
know.
or I guess you could like move Earth somewhere else.
Yeah,
If,
yeah, 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 yeah. That's, see, that'd be, you wouldn't, because like you'd have to know what you're doing with that, because they're like, I'm going to move Earth behind Mars, and then it's like, oh, you're too far away from the sun, the planet freezes, everyone's dead. You know what I mean? It's one of this is a kind of one where you have to be kind of smart about it. So yeah, you can move the Eiffel Tower into your backyard, but I mean, because it's on different land, does that mean it's going to collapse and crush your house? Allows users to teleport themselves and others any place regardless of distance or whether there are walls or spells. So say, I don't know, you're fighting Doctor Strange and is in a fortress and he casts like a shield around, you could just like, it just be like, yo, try and get in, and it'd be like, alright then, you're in there. You know what I mean? Like, see, the annoying thing of that is, say you're kind of wearing the gauntlet when you're asleep, and then like you're having like a dream of like being on the moon, and then it teleports you onto the moon, and it's like, ah, oh, got no oxygen, your head pops. You know what I mean? Or you're just hanging around with it, and it's just like you got it in your hand, and you fall asleep, and you're like having a dream, like, I don't know, you're flying or something. It teleports you there, and then you like fall 50 feet and die. See, this is kind of one I wouldn't want around me. This one makes me nervous because it's very to is kind of very specific. You kind of, it'd work better if you were like an alien. I mean, you see how it'd appeal to Thanos because he knows about the universe and stuff like that, and he kind of knows where things are. But I mean, for someone like me and you, if we had it, we'd literally, the length and breadth of it would literally be like, I don't know, moving the Leaning Tower of Pisa like into the town centre, or you know, moving a shop into your backyard.
I wouldn't do that. I'll just move some Swiss bank accounts, and that'll do.
Exactly, because anything else, you screw yourself over. Um, oh, this is interesting as well. Increases the speed of the user and alters the distance between objects. See, I don't really get that. Alters the distance between objects. It's like that'd be pretty much the same of moving any object through thing. You know what I mean? You wouldn't be like, oh, okay then, like that TV is a meter away. Now it's half a meter away. That's the same thing of moving it through thing. So that's a
Hmm.
kind of asinine point. But in terms of increasing the speed of the user, that'd be pretty cool. That's like super speed, right? I mean, you could move.
Yeah, I don't really
Like,
get that though.
um, I
Like, what's the
think
point in that?
because you move things through space and stuff like that, it's like technically you'd be able to move yourself through space at any speed. So you could literally, like, instead of running 5 miles per hour, you'd run 100 miles per hour.
Yeah, I guess I don't really.
It's kind of really like nitpicky and stuff like. I'd see how it would work, and it does kind of tie in, but it's real that itself is like really specific. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah, that's what I mean. To me, that's like magically gaining like Superman's like eye vision, whatever it's called.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
So with that kind of, that's interesting as well. It's like, could you technically increase the speed of yourself so much that you'd break the speed of light and time travel? You know what I mean? Because then you don't really need the time stone. Well, to time travel, I mean, that's about it. It's limited. They all kind of tie into each other, like on a really like specific kind of low level where you just be like, whether you could do that or not. But even then, like all these things, it's like, yeah, it increases your speed, but can your body handle it? So I think that's why they're only for like really enhanced people, like a normal human and stuff like that. You'd increase your speed and you break your neck. You teleport onto the moon, your head'd pop. So I can see why. I mean, you can see why it's kind of like for specific people of power, because anyone else you wouldn't be able to handle it for these reasons right here. Um, alter the distance between objects contrary to the law of physics. At full potential, the gem grants omnipresence, in which you're everywhere. So instead of like, say I'll be like here and I'll be over your shoulder, in which case it wouldn't be like physical, it's more like God, you know what I mean? It's like
Mhm.
I'm everywhere, but you don't have to see me to know I'm there, and you like encounter constantly. Like nowadays, if you talk about politics, I'd say you're going to mention Donald Trump's name, so it'd be one of the, kind of like that on a subliminal thing. Now we move on to the Mind Stone, and that is a blue one. This allows the user to strengthen and enhance mental and psionic power. So I guess it would make you kind of see. This is a good one because surely, like, you'd enhance your mental ability to be able to do telekinesis, telepathy, teleportation, stuff like that. And like, if you're fighting Doctor Strange, you could like blast him. But then again, you could do things like, do you know, like, see, it's an interesting one. I'd put that down, that you would be able to like move things with your mind, as well as kind of the telepathy, which is like obvious. It's a mind stone. Access thoughts and dreams of other people, basically telepathy. When used with the power gem, it can access all the minds in existence at the same time. And apparently, it's a manifestation of the universal subconscious, because originally, like, it was meant to be like a god, wasn't it? Like it was a god, and their body died, and as they decayed, like each part split off into like a different stone.
Okay.
Yeah, apparently that's not one of. So this would be like its brain, and like reality would be its eyes, power would be its muscle, soul would be its soul, time would be its watch, and space would just be its space. Very vague, very vague. So yeah, basically you could read people's minds, move things with your mind. It just pretty much garner you the same powers as like Jean Grey,
Yeah.
really.
And the
Like
fear.
it's a Jean Grey stone, so there's not really much you could kind of to discuss about that one. It's pretty cut and dry, but also it does kind of key in with like the power gem, and that like the power gem pretty much bolsters it. So like, as opposed to reading 10 people's minds at one time, you could read everyone's mind. And then obviously at full potential, it's just like everyone in the universe. Like my man from Mars, I could read his mind. Right, reality stone now. Um, Yellow. Allows the user to fulfill wishes regardless of scientific laws or possibility. So you could have a flying pig, but without the wings. You could have like scientific laws. I mean, you can't create or destroy. Energy can't be created or destroyed. It's like, yeah, it can be. Vroom, I just created some. It'd be kind of one of them things. You can make internal combustion engines, I guess, but that's kind of small fry. Can create any type of alternate reality. So I don't know, where we're all robots. Where we got no heads, no legs, where we never evolved. If you believe in evolution, if not, where Jesus never died for our sins, and you can see him down, I don't know, the shop on a Friday night or in a club, if you're in the right place. This is regarded as the most powerful gems, but as a side effect, it needs the other gems to control it, to kind of keep
Okay.
it in check, because it can obviously run wild and stuff. Because you've got to think, if you've got it and you're thinking, oh, I want a yellow elephant, and then like, oh, maybe I'll have a green elephant, and then it's and everything messes up. Maybe we don't need the moon. Oh, maybe we do. Maybe we need 4 moons, and you kind of, so like, to keep it in check, because it can flux out of control. Um, you need the other gems to control it. I mean, you don't have to. You could lose control. You could have 20, blow up the universe, or everyone can be an inch tall. But I mean, ideally, you'd want all the other gems to control it. At full potential, it can change reality on a universal scale. So no gravity, no legs, no feet. We're fish people. The whole world's
Ooh,
underwater. Everyone can breathe underwater. You know,
I like the fish people one.
you like that one, yeah?
Yeah, yeah, I'll go for that.
I'm just literally thinking of random stuff.
I can tell. Hang out with Namor.
Yeah. So yeah, anything you'd want, you know. Yeah, you could be a woman for forever.
The thing is, like you say, with needing the other ones, because otherwise they all become obsolete.
Well,
Because
yeah.
if you can do anything, then you can do anything those ones could do.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, you could do it. So I don't know that you didn't need to read people's minds. You could change reality so everyone's yes men. It's like,
Oh,
oh, do you like me? No. Why not? Oh, everyone tells the truth to you or whatever. Or there's no such thing. You know, the Ricky Gervais film, The Invention of Lying. There is no such thing.
I'll probably be for the best.
Yeah. Now we get on to the Power Stone, which is the red one. Yay. Accesses all power that has and will exist. Also boosts the other gems effects, which we talked about earlier. Um, Allows user to duplicate any physical superhuman ability and grant omnipotence. See, this is interesting, but like one thing I was kind of thinking about, like I was thinking about this for a while, like you can duplicate almost any physical superhuman ability. So, like physical, super strength, super speed. I figure you could fly. That'd kind of move into the kind of super strength. But in terms of like mind reading and stuff like that, see, it's interesting because could you like loophole it and be like, oh, I increase the power of my thought process, therefore I can read your mind. But then that'd make
No,
the mind stone. That's why I figure, because I was kind of thinking of ways around that, but literally, yeah. Um, Physical. That's why they threw that in there as a nice little curveball. You know what I mean? So, I mean that'd be, yeah, you know what I mean. But you wouldn't need super strength or anything like that, because if you can access all power that ever has or will exist, grant omnipotence, allows manipulation of all forms of energy for any effect. So I mean, you could blast things out your hands. You could blast neutron energy out your hands, fire out your hands. I mean, that's classed as like thermal energy. So I guess you could do that. Blast laser beams out your hand, light energy. Um, Radiation. I guess you could do that. You could blow up like a bomb, or shoot bombs out your hands. Like when I say bombs out your hands, not literally like a grenade, but I know pulses that, and when they hit something, they blow up like a nuke. So I mean, you wouldn't really. It's a nice little thing to throw in, duplicate almost any physical superhuman ability. I guess you could use that as like enhance the tensile strength of your skin, because I mean if you're going around blowing stuff up and shooting laser beams, you'd think that your body would have to, you'd increase the strength of your body so you could kind of deal with that recoil or whatever, or being around that stuff. Like, I don't know, give yourself lead skin so you don't, if you're blasting gamma rays or beta rays, you don't flip in, your head don't pop off. It's interesting. Most people who use the stone by itself, so say like, I don't know, one person just gets hold of it and that's the only stone they've got. They do use it to enhance themselves physically. So it is kind of like a narcissistic kind of thing. Like, oh, I'm going to give myself big muscles and I'm going to be all big
yes.
and strong and stuff like that. See me, I'd
Because
just
you have to be a narcissist to even think about getting the thing, wouldn't you?
yeah.
No one's going to get that for altruistic reasons. They're not going to do it to do good.
Mm. I mean, Yeah. I mean, maybe it kind of start off like that. I mean, a good intention person would get it and be like, "I'm going to solve the world's energy crisis. I'm just going to invent this new clean energy, like that doesn't affect the environment and can like the arc reactor. You could kind of do that, but without the big things. You could have this little speck that big. You put it into something that powers it for a billion years, and solve
Right,
the
but
energy crisis. But then you'd kind of be like, oh, I'm going to shoot laser beams out my hands. Oh,
yeah,
this guy's annoying me. Oops, I accidentally killed him. Then it's like,
exactly.
oh,
To go back to the Lord of the Rings analogy, it will corrupt you in the end, no matter
yeah.
how good you might be.
But like, they all kind of would. See, that's the kind of thing, you know what I mean? The mind reading one. You're telling me you ain't gonna go around reading people's minds all the time, like the time stone. It's like, oh, I wonder what would happen if I do this. Oh, that didn't work out so well. Rewind time half hour. You know what I mean? Or I want to meet this person. I wonder what their house looks like. Space stone. I'll teleport into their back garden.
Yeah, because if you had the mind reading one, it'd be like if you're a good intention person that wants to help people, has been reading people's mind to try and make them better. No matter how much you try, eventually you're going to lose people. And if you keep doing it, eventually you're going to be blinded and you're going to make people
Mm,
do what you want them to do.
yeah, all of them will drive you crazy.
Yeah,
But yeah, you get all of them together, you whack them all in the gauntlet, do whatever. Immortal, impervious. It's kind of interesting how you could actually be stopped with it. Yeah, I mean Thanos gets stopped even though he's in possession with them. All these other people have got hold of them. In the cartoons, Ultron gets the gauntlet and upgrades himself. See, that'd be um, a kind of nod to the Power Stone because Ultron starts off as like a cruddy thing, takes control of the Gauntlet, and then all of a sudden is like Ultron Prime. So that's a kind of nod to enhance himself physically. Yeah, so I mean, it's interesting how you can actually be defeated with it, but there's always a way around it. But I mean, literally, for all intents and purposes, it's like you wouldn't be if you had it and all six of the
yeah.
stones,
As,
you wouldn't be
as
able to
cool as it
stop.
is, exactly as cool as it is, it's also problematic. Like I said, I don't think that's why they bring it around much in the comics. They use it a couple of times because you shouldn't be defeated.
hmm I mean, it'd be impossible. It's kind of the thing like, I guess you could be like, um, the only weakness I have in it, it'd be yourself. But I mean, you could kind of use like your own kind of weaknesses inside yourself. But I mean, you could use the Mind Stone to kind of enhance your mental abilities, so you'd be able to handle it. But really, you'd kind of sit there and you'd be like, it'd kind of consume you. You'd lose control, and you'd be like, I don't want the power anymore. And you'd do the dumb thing and like give it away, and you'd be like, oh my god, you gave it away. How could you do that? It's like the most amazing thing ever. But really, it's not. It's like the kind of who wants to live forever dilemma. Yeah, immortality is good, but when you've had about 20 wives and you've seen them die over the years, maybe it's not so good after all. It'd literally be one of them things. But I
Yeah,
mean,
I can see the Infinity War movie complaints already. You
yeah,
know they're going to come about not with no one buying because you know Thanos is going to get the all the gems and put them in the gauntlet at some point,
mm,
and then
yeah.
however it ends, you're not going to make everyone happy.
Yeah, it's literally kind of thing. The only thing that can kind of hamper it is yourself. But I mean, I've found a way around that already. You can bolster your mental ability with the Mind Stone, your comprehension. So I mean, but there'd be a thing around that. I mean, with Thanos, it kind
Yeah,
of
but
they goad him, and then he ends up doing something stupid. But I mean,
exactly like you said though, if you've got the power to warp reality and bring people back from the dead, you ain't going to see your wife die 20 times. You can just keep her alive forever.
that is a very good point. And we will end on that point because that was a good one.
Thank you.
So yeah, that has been the superhero file on the Infinity Stones. Hope you found it interesting, thought provoking. Any supervillains in the making? You know, if you got any tips from that, I hope we helped you out. Like, share, subscribe. I'm Sam.
I'm not.
Yeah, and if you do get the Infinity Stone, don't blast the Superhero Hub out of existence because it's the best show on YouTube.
Yeah, to just get rid of all our competition, and then where's Golden?
Yes.